Okay, so this is Saxon Math, Lesson 86. And before you go through the lesson practice with me, you need to read uh, page 548 and page 549, all of the examples. And then we will start working on lesson practice. We're going to start with question A on page 549. And question A, let's see, go ahead and I need to click a color here. Give me just a second. Okay, so question A says 70 times 80. So the assignment asks you to solve this mentally, and I'm going to show you how you can do that. So the first thing you need to do is you need to just look at the 7 and the 8. So the zeros we can add back later. So we need to ask ourselves, what's 7 times 8? Well, 7 times 8 is 56. And then all we need to do is count the zeros that were in our problem. We have 2 zeros. We've got 1, and there's 1 there, all right? So we're going to add those 2 zeros to the end of our problem. So we've got 0 and 0. So 70 times 80 is 5,600. So I should have put those up here. 5,600. Right. So I'm going to go ahead and erase these two. All right. So the zeros went there and there. So our answer was 5,600. Okay. So we're going to go ahead and go to number B. My pin got a little smaller, so I'm going to go back over here. Okay. So B is 40 times 50. So we got 40 times 50. Now, if you can do that in your head, that's awesome. I'll give you just a second to think about it. All right, so the first thing I'm going to do in my head is I'm going to take 4 times 5. And 4 times 5 is 20. We have 2 zeros in our problem. There's 1 and 2. So we're going to take those 2 zeros and we're going to add them to the end of our 20. So we're going to take this 20, we're going to move it up there. So we're going to have 20. And then we need to take these 2 zeros and we're going to move those right there and right there. So we end up with 2,000. So B was 2,000. I hope you can do that in your head. We're going to go ahead and go to letter C. Letter C is 40 times $6. So we have 40 times $6. Now don't let this freak you out too much, okay? Remember that these two numbers here are behind a decimal point. So we don't really even need to worry about those right now, okay? So don't think about those for a second. Really what we're solving is 40 times 6. Well, I can do that in my head by saying what's 4 times 6, and that is 24. So if 4 times 6 is 24, 40 times 6 is going to be 24 with 1 0, because there's 1 0 in 40 times 6. So my answer is 240. And then with these 2 decimal points, we can add those back to our answer. We know that 40 times 6 is $240. we can also add the decimals here. They don't change the value, and they're just extra. Okay, we got one more for our lesson practice, and it is letter D. I'm going to go ahead and do letter D up here. I'm going to change the color too. Let's go ahead and make letter D blue. Okay, so we've got D over here. Now D is 30 times 800. Now, can you solve this in your head? The first thing I'm going to do to solve this in my head is I'm going to go, what's 3 times 8? Well, I know that 3 times 8 is 24. So 3 times 8 is 24, so I know that 30 times 800 is going to start with 24. And then I'm going to count my zeros. I've got 1, 2, 3. So I'm going to add 3 zeros to my answer. We've got 1, 2, 3. So my answer should have been 24,000. All right, and that's how you can multiply big numbers that end in 0 in your head.